One of my favorite and most tried and true tactics to increasing quality, decreasing cycle time is called the perfect start. And the perfect start is nothing more than an exercise to define what are we handing the superintendent or the builder or foreman in the field to do their job. It's eye-opening because once you see what they have to do their job, you see the many holes that are inside of your process. It's a great exercise to get everybody in the room and define what is our perfect start. If we have no pressures of a business plan, if we have no pressures of end of quarter or end of month, and we wanted to build the perfect home, what would that start package include? And you can go around the room to each of the functions and come up with a list, and it doesn't have to be extensive. It may be 10, 12, 15 items at the most. But the idea that we have to have all of these items intact before we can hand that package into the field and begin vertical construction is an absolute enigma to a lot of builders. But what it does do, if you'll run through that exercise, it allows you to go backwards into your operational processes and find out what are we missing. Why don't we have complete design selections? Why don't we have complete plans? Why don't we have a permit in hand before we start construction? Too often we get in the exercise of any action is good action. And so we push these packages, these incomplete packages, out the door and maybe get 10% of the construction done, only to stop cold, realizing that we were missing something. Well, if you run the perfect start and you're disciplined and you stick to the integrity of that process and not start a home or a project before all of those things are met, the likelihood of stoppage is lessened. And the idea of decreasing cycle time falls right in that line. The perfect start is easy to understand in concept. It's extremely difficult to execute in practice. Because once you list your perfect start and you all agree, the management team, in the room together, eye to eye, face to face, to say that this is our start package and we won't start a home until we get all of these things, and you start to assign who's going to collect them, well, then the pressure of the business plan comes into play. And it will usually happen the day after you do your perfect start process. You'll define it on Monday, and on Tuesday, you'll get asked for an exception. Please push this through. We have to get things started. So it is the hardest thing to execute. And as leaders, that's where the boss needs to be involved. The boss needs to stand firm to the integrity of the process that said, without the pressures of the business plan, the environment, the timing, we said in order to succeed, these 10 things were required before we would start a house. We only have 8, we can't go forward. Now, I'm not naive enough to know that exceptions don't occur on occasion, but you don't want to run your business on exception.